recording button? Okay, I have hit the recording button, and whatever I'm saying is being recorded. I'm going to put it on Moodle as well so that everyone gets to know what we have discussed today. First of all, the most important announcement I wanted to make is that so far you have taken a quiz for this exam and you have taken midterm exam. According to the syllabus, it was planned that we will do presentations, face-to-face presentations. Okay? And with that, it was also planned that then you will take either final exam or you will submit your writing portfolio. Students, about the presentations, face-to-face presentation, for which you were supposed to discuss your favorite columnist and reasons for liking that columnist, let me tell you that even if we are back to campus after February 1st, I'm not sure if we will have enough time for that. You know what I mean? So what I'm thinking about is that I'll combine presentations with your final submission of writing portfolio. So what in that way, what we can do is that when you submit your writing portfolio and when I call you for an oral exam for a viva, in that I will ask you to talk about your favorite columnist and give me reasons for liking that columnist. Does that make sense? In that case, there will be just one exam, not two separate exams. If you have any question, you can ask me, because some of you still feel confused from your faces. Does that make sense? What I just said, does that make sense for you or no?
Yes.
Okay. Would anyone like to repeat that information for me? Faika, what I just said. Yes, go ahead, Faika.
Ma'am, you were saying that we will submit our writing portfolios on the exam day, and uh, for the presentation part, we'll just tell you about our favorite columnist, and you'll ask the reasons why we
Good.
why.
What I'm saying is that I may omit presentations for you. Does that make sense? Like, there is this possibility, a high possibility, that we will not do presentations now. I like when I planned course outline, of course, I planned for a blended teaching system. I did not know that campus will be shut down and we will come to fully online teaching. I did not know that. So I planned the course outline according to blended teaching. And for that, I had planned presentations. See, even if I do presentations, you will be switching after 15 days and everything. So I mean, that will take so long for me to do presentations. For that, I am thinking that there is a high possibility that I will totally omit presentations for this class. And at the end, just when you submit your writing portfolio, I will give you an oral exam. I understand that kind of adds pressure for you for final exam, because that final exam now is going to be of 50 marks, 50% weightage. Some students may kind of feel nervousness about this thing. Well, my final exam is maybe since it has 50% weightage, it's really, really important. What if I don't do well in it? That kind of thing. But you see, I mean, given the circumstances, I don't have much options. So what I'm saying is, of course, I have covered I have covered the content with a very good speed. Okay? But when it comes to assessments, I have to cut them short. Because of our limitations related to online teaching, I have to cut them short because of this online teaching thing. Like, I cannot follow the same format that I planned earlier for blended teaching. Now, if anyone wants to ask question, you can. Otherwise, I'll move ahead and discuss my next announcement. Any question? There will be oral exams. I may give you oral exam in Zoom setup, or I may give you oral exam on phone. I mean, I haven't decided it yet, but I'll let you know soon after I decide. Okay? If you don't have question, you can note down my second announcement. Folks, so far we have done 3 writing sessions. Okay? We may do a couple more. Now, for writing sessions, you may have seen that I have commented on everyone's work. That should help you improve your writing. Okay? Because this is a writing course, and my job being your instructor is to help you improve your writing, is to help you learn how to write, especially for journalistic purposes. For that, if you for some reason you cannot take part in the writing session activity, so ideally you should write during your class time. So you know that although I sent you the Google Doc invite an hour before the class, and some of you were working on it even after the class timings have passed, you are supposed to work on it during your class timings. I do not want you to take up your time from other classes. I understand you are doing other classes and everything. Essentially, you are supposed to work for your writing session within your class time. And I will comment and assist only those students on writing session who work on Google Doc only on that day. There are many students who work later, like a day later or 2 days later after we had writing session, and they were sending me emails that, well, I was late for this reason, and I now I have written my draft there on Google Doc. I cannot comment on that later. I will only comment on students' works who have posted their work, who have worked on Google Doc within the given time. And whoever misses the writing session activity afterwards, please go there, take a look what others have done, and how I have helped them fix their mistakes, how I have helped them improve their mistakes. And based on your learning from that draft, sit down, develop your own draft, take a print and drop it in your writing portfolio that you will submit toward the end of the semester. That's all I wanted to say. If you have any question, you can ask me now. Any
So, ma'am,
question?
basically that writing portfolio will be our final exam, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, that is something that you will submit for your like final exam. Along when you submit it, along with that, there will be a viva as well. Okay? Remember, I asked you to give me only typewritten activity, only typewritten drafts. Of course, when you wrote them, when you type them, they should be saved on a file or a folder in your computer. Keep them safe, because what may happen at the end, if we are not back to face-to-face setting, then I may ask you to submit them online. Okay? I may ask you to submit your portfolio via email, or just submit them on Moodle, or send them to me via Google Drive or anything, whatever I tell you. So just keep them safe with you, because we do not know what is going to happen. I mean, situation is very uncertain, and we want to be prepared for every kind of situation. Okay? And with that, there will be a viva, oral viva as well. So oral viva will be of worth 20% weightage, and writing portfolio will be of worth 30% weightage. Together they will make 50% weightage. And a week before your final exams, I will give you a rubric as well, so that you can prepare yourself well for oral viva and for writing portfolio as well. Okay? Any question? Okay, let's begin. So I was going to ask you questions related to your activity that you did on Wednesday. Students, let me tell you very briefly what we will be doing. Paika, you wanted to ask a question? Go ahead, please.
No, ma'am, I was just answering the activity you gave.
Okay, good. Just give me a minute and I'll begin then. For this week, today, I'm doing this virtual session. I made some announcements. I'm going to discuss feature with you all. For Wednesday, I will upload a recorded lecture. Please be on the lookout for that recorded lecture on Moodle. I will upload it in the late afternoon. Okay? And for our class on Friday, I will upload an activity which will be related to my lecture that of course I'll upload on Wednesday. This is a brief this week's summary. This is what we are doing this week. Okay? All right. Now, let's begin our work. Feature. Let me tell you what a feature is very, very briefly. Let me tell you what a feature is, and then I'll start asking you questions. What is a feature? Remember when remember our discussion on hard news and soft news? Do you remember that? Hard news is something which is based on an event, whereas soft news is something which is just a piece of information, and it is, I mean, its definition is elusive. It's hard to find its definition. It gives you information, but its purpose is more to entertain. That is soft news. Okay? And it is also called feature. So feature is soft news, anything that gives information, but its purpose is more to entertain, but to inform as well, but purpose is more to entertain. Feature, actually, if you ask me to define it just in a couple words or one word, I would say feature is factual presentation. I'll write it in the chat box. Okay, feature is factual presentation. Can anyone tell me what is factual? What is the meaning of factual? What does that mean?
With facts.
Very good, very good. Something that is based on facts. What is feature actually? Feature is presentation of facts. It is factual presentation. Again, its purpose is more to entertain. There is information as well, but mostly it is kind of inclined toward entertaining element. Not always though, but mostly. All right. Now, let me give you example. If you read if a write up, a detailed write up in newspaper which is related to Taj Mahal in India, or let's say which is related to Bashahi Mosque in Lahore, it gives you all information. Yes, they are entertaining readers. They are telling them important information related to Bashahi Mosque. They are telling them, okay, it was built by Aurangzeb Alamgir, a Mughal emperor. It was built in this year, and it is a symbol of Mughal architecture in Lahore. Now, you see, aren't they presenting facts here? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So that is factual presentation. A feature on Bashahi Mosque, a feature on Taj Mahal, and then I'll ask you to give me some more examples that you may have read on TNS. Now let's begin asking questions. You read features in TNS. So based on your reading and based on your observation, what do you think? How would you make comparison between a feature and a column? Who will go first? Yes, Faika, go ahead.
So, ma'am, this one of the similarities is that both column and feature mention the writer's name along with their email address,
There
and
is a
sometimes,
byline. Yeah, very good.
yes, and sometimes the designation as well. For example, like a senior journalist at the news or etc. And then another similarity is that both the column and feature needs authentic information, like you just told us about
Yeah,
the facts.
there
And
is this similarity. Very good, very good.
and the differences are that you told the one difference that features are full of pictures,
Mhm.
and a column usually have picture of the writer, a little
Just one
iconic.
picture. And in some
Yes,
newspapers like Dawn, they instead of giving picture, they kind of they give a kind of sketch of writer.
yes. And then, ma'am, features are more colorful and
Mhm.
more vibrant, and columns are printed on a specific place where features can be, you know, placed anywhere in the magazine.
Very good.
And also,
Can I
columns
ask
have
someone
one.
else?
Yes,
Can
yes,
I
ma'am.
now ask someone else? Faika raised a very good point. She, toward the end of her discussions, she said that features are colorful. I'll talk about this more in a minute. Okay? Features are colorful. This is her observation. This is what she observed. Anyone else? It
Ma'am,
would, yes, Shaista, go ahead.
Ma'am, features have one or more headlines uh, or topic head,
Yes, very good.
and
Very good. Another very good observation. Features have headlines. Another
columns,
very good observation.
and columns do
Uh,
not have, they have only one headline.
Mostly, yes. Good. Another good, very good observation.
And
Would anyone?
features,
Yeah. Go ahead,
feature,
Shaista.
ma'am, features have, uh, uh, they are written in objective form, and columns are written in subjective form.
Okay, so Shaista is saying that feature, but when you read them, they seem to be objective, yes. Whereas a column is a highly subjective piece of writing. Good answer. I'll talk about that too in a minute. Anyone else? Mohsen Iqbal, Muhammad Arif.
Ma'am, columns are written with less number of words and features a little longer.
So Khadija is saying that, Khadija, say it one more time.
Ma'am, the columns have less number count, word count,
Okay.
and features are a little longer.
Yes, Khadija is saying that in terms of length, features
Yes,
are longer than columns. Okay,
yes, ma'am.
another very good observation. Good job, Khadija. Anyone else? I would like Mohsen Iqbal, Muhammad Arif, Zivakar
m-
to
Most
participate.
of the differences are told by the others. So one difference is that columns are written in first person and form, and the features are written in third person form.
Another very good observation. I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay? Very good observation, Muhammad Arif. Wonderful. All right. Mohsen Iqbal, would you like to share, would you like to speak about your experience? Yes, Zivakar, Maida, Hasib, Rakshan,
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, most of the
Maida.
points that I made have been said, but I would like to say that features are thoroughly researched, are have more facts, and can be more factually reliable than columns.
Very good job. Another very good observation. You all are adding to conversation. I'll talk about all of that in a minute. Just let me take everyone's viewpoint. Yes, Maida, what you have said, it definitely adds to our conversation, and what you have observed is absolutely correct. Mohsin, Hasib, Rakshan, Zivakar, Mujtaba.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Zivakar, and would you like to speak about your observation?
मैम सब डिस्कस हो गए हैं
Okay.
हाँ
Hasib,
I'm,
Hasib,
I was listening, लेकिन वो I think all have been discussed.
your voice is breaking up, Hasib. I cannot hear you properly. What did
Ma'am,
you
I'm
say?
saying that.
Uh,
Can you?
Again, your voice is breaking
Hello.
up. Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
Maybe,
Yes.
okay,
Actually, ma'am,
maybe,
the rural area. That is why. Yes.
that's okay. If your internet is not stable or something, just make sure that you can hear me accurately, okay? And I see a beautiful morning behind you. Maybe I hear a rooster as well. All right, Rakshan, most Rakshan, you need to unmute your mic.
सॉरी मैम
That's okay.
मैम जो कॉलम्स होते हैं बेसिकली वो बहुत स्पेसिफिक होते हैं लाइक उनका जो वर्ड काउंट होता है वो स्पेसिफिक होता है एज कंपेयर टू जो फीचर्स होते हैं
So what you are saying is more or less similar to what Khadija said. She said that features are longer as compared to columns.
yep
Is that
yep
what you wanted to say?
yes ma'am
Okay. Maybe Mohsen has went back to sleep, so
No, ma'am.
he's
I'm
not
I'm
responding.
not sleeping.
So would you like to participate? What we are discussing?
Ma'am, everything is discussed.
Everything is discussed. Rohel, do you have anything else to add to the conversation?
Ma'am, I have already messaged it.
Oh, you wrote something in the chat. Features do not have specific place. Columns have. Yes, good job. Very good observation. अच्छा एक बात Rohel beta I haven't seen you much in and there are some other faces I haven't seen you much in virtual sessions. I hope to see you next time. ठीक है? They are very important. I mean, I conduct these virtual
All right,
sessions for
ma'am.
students and they are for your benefits. I would appreciate if you come to them. Now, let me
All right.
begin my discussion. I have asked pretty much everyone. If there is anything else anyone wants to share, you can raise your hand anytime. All right. See, yes, Faika, go ahead.
Ma'am, I wanted to add, I don't know if this is right or wrong. This is my observation that features are a little more easy because of the pictures and they are more direct. For example, the title of The Violent Side of the TV, there was this thing mentioned that women, whether they are called Begairat or, Bichari, in both cases, they are shown weak to some extent. So the title is doing like justice that the violent side of the TV. But when it comes to a column, I read the title was how to make an intellectual wasteland. So this is more indirect and it was little sarcastic because the writer was, you know, kind of criticizing the government and the elites by not saying their names, etc. So I think it was more indirect and the features are kind of direct.
So what Faika is saying is that features are kind of easier to comprehend. They are kind of
Yes.
easier to understand. Okay, what you all have said is very. I mean, yes, I'm glad that you had such accurate and detailed observations. I'm going to discuss the points that you have given here, and please do see my lecture that comes on Wednesday. It will have more details on the topic of how we can make a comparison of feature and column. First, Faika said that features are colorful. Yes, that is a very big difference between column and feature. There is difference of layout. If I mean, to put it simply, features are colorful. You see a lot of pictures. I mean, it is full of pictorial display. There are box stories. If you remember, I explained what are box stories. Like, you extract important information out of a write-up, out of a content, and you put it in the form of box in order to make it stand out, in order to highlight important information. So features are full of pictorial displays and features are full of box stories. This kind of makes a difference of layout. A column comparatively seems to have a simple layout, right? However, a feature by contrast has a colorful layout. That is why Faika was saying that features seem colorful. Then Shaista talked about the difference of headlines, that features have more headlines. That is again pretty much the same thing. Like I said, that features usually, well, this is not to say that you cannot find box stories in columns, but a feature usually is full of box stories. Now, you may have not found box stories in online versions of features, but if you have any Sunday magazine, like a physical copy of a Sunday magazine, Nawai Waqt, Jung newspaper, or S Plus, which is Sunday magazine of The Nation, please take a look at it and you will see that they, like their write-ups, they have box stories, which means important information is extracted and given in a highlighted form, given in a form of a box, and the purpose is to highlight important information out of that. Any questions so far? Okay, are you all clear what is a box story? Any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I move? Okay, very good. Now, Khadija talked about this idea. Khadija and then who? Wait a minute. There was Rakshan as well. They both kind of talked about the same idea. They said that features are longer pieces of articles as compared to columns. See, I may have told you this, that just take a look at Time magazine. Even if you don't find Sunday magazine, take a look at Time magazine or Reader's Digest. You will find plenty of features there. You will notice that some features, they may comprise of 3 pages as well. Like suppose this is a Sunday magazine, okay? This on this page you find a feature. Then if again, this feature begins from this page, it continues on this page, and then continues again on this page, and sometimes it may continue to 5 pages as well. Yes, In feature, a writer has margin of length. A writer has, he doesn't have space limit. Unlike a columnist has to confine himself within the space given to him. Let's say if I am a columnist and I write in newspaper and they have given me 1200 words, I may exceed to 1300 words, but not more than that, because they have given me, let's say, space of 3 columns or 2 columns or whatever. But the situation is different in feature. In feature, you have the liberty for length. You can go as long as you want. So very good observation again, Khadija, Umar and Rakshan. But then Muhammad Arif was of the viewpoint, he said that columns, you see first person. Is that so? Like is this what you said, Muhammad Arif?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is again another very good observation. Let me explain this to you. What he meant was that there is this I approach that you see in column a lot. By I approach, a columnist openly says, I went there, I talked to that person, I observed this happening, or I think, like you see an I approach, a clear I approach happening in feature. However, the situation is different in feature. Sorry, I said it wrong. In column there is I approach. In feature, usually there is no I approach. The person writes mostly in third person style. Also, in column, a person is writing about his observations. However, in feature, you may have noticed interviews in feature. Like whoever is writing feature, let's say if I'm writing a feature on issue related to environment, I will go interview a person, interview a specialist, interview a university professor who teaches environmental studies or all that. And then I will incorporate his views in my writing. Okay? So that is why usually they do not use an I approach in feature writing. They usually write a feature in third person writing style. Very good observation, Muhammad Arif. Then Maida Abbas, she came up with this point that features are based on research. Features are research-based articles. Is that so, Maida? Maida was saying this. Yes, another very good observation. See, again, this is not to say that columnists do not do any research. Yes, whatever they say, it is based on solid research. But if I'm writing a feature on global warming or on let's say on global warming or climate change, I will have to do my research. I will have to explore what is written in scholarly journals. I will have to explore what newspapers are writing. There is a famous environment activist from Sweden, Greta Thunberg, if I am pronouncing her name correct. Do you know about her? Does anyone know about her? Yes, she's in her teenage, and even whenever she's traveling, in order to protect environment, she prefers not to fly. Instead, she goes, she takes a ship. She goes by sea. So like I will do my research. I will come to know about Greta Thunberg, and I will explore what she has done so far. See, there is a lot of research involved. Many times a columnist just, you may have noticed what Hassan Nisar writes. Whatever he writes, it's based on his observation. I mean, there is not as much research involved in writing of feature as it is in the writing of column. And lastly, Rohail raised this point. He said that there is specific place for a column. However, the case is different for features. Yes, that is another very good observation. Athar Abbas, he writes a column with the heading of Kankriyan in Nawai Waqt newspaper, and we all know that it appears on the second page of newspaper. When I get my newspaper copy, I do not have to scroll, like I do not have to go to all pages to see where is Athar Abbas article today. I know it's published on second page, I will find it on second page. Parvez Hoodbai's article appears in the opinion pages of Dawn, which are page number 5 and page number 6. In order to find his article in the newspaper, I will straight go to page 5 or page 6 to see his article. I do not have to go through the whole newspaper. There is specific place for column in the newspaper, whereas there is no specific place for a column for a feature in a newspaper. They can be published in Sunday magazines. They can be published in special editions. Newspapers publish special editions. Navayavak publishes a special edition. Its name is Qaumi Ufaq. I think it comes every Tuesday or so. I'm not sure. See, you can find features anywhere. There is no specific place for them. So I have discussed your points, what you shared with me. Very good, good job working on activity, good observations. I appreciate you all. Please be on the lookout for my lecture that I'll upload on Wednesday, and for our class on Friday, I'll upload an activity. I have only 6 minutes remaining for this class. If you have any question, you can ask me now.
Ma'am, are we supposed to type this activity as well for the portfolio?
So for writing portfolio, you will only drop writing session activities, not the activities that we usually do in class. Okay? Any other question?
Ma'am, I've emailed you something about my midterm.
Okay,
You
yes,
asked
very
me to
good.
discuss
Yes.
it.
Okay, there are students who missed their midterm exams. Okay, what I'll do is by next weekend, by next week, again, Rohel, you will have, this is your job to remind me about your missed exam. But since, I mean, you failed to meet a deadline, those of you who have missed exams, they fail to meet their deadlines and whatever. So I will give them an assignment to compensate, but of course there will be a deduction of some points. Okay? And we will discuss that more. If you want, I can set up a one-on-one meeting with you or whatever works with you, but there will be still deduction of some points for you. And remind me again, Rohel, for those of you who have missed any exam, if it's quiz or if it's midterm, I will give you an assignment. I cannot.
मैम मेरा भी मिस हुआ था.
Rakshan, but let me write. Thank you, Rakshan, for reminding me again. Remind me again.
I'm on the next class or
In the
like
next
on the
class, so
email?
that I assign you some work. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Again,
Okay,
it
ma'am.
is your job to remind me, please.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, and how are classes coming along for other subjects and everything?
Ma'am, for me or for
For
like
everyone, for everyone. How is semester coming along?
Ma'am, it is just fine.
Good, good. Okay, students, this week, today I am going to upload a book chapter for you. Its title is What is a Feature? Okay? Please read those notes carefully. They will also prepare you for exam. Writing portfolio exam or whatever it is. Okay? To repeat, today I am going to upload a PDF file, a book chapter for you to read. Please read that thoroughly before our next virtual session. Okay? Any question? Any help? Okay, then if you do not have any question, I'm going to end today's session. I wish you very best of luck for the rest of your classes. And thank you for an active participation in today's class. I'll see you next Monday. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
ma'am.
Allah Hafiz, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Allah Hafiz.